What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Bourbon and Bullshit podcast with some good friends, great drinks, and a little bit of BS. So grab a seat, pour up something neat, and welcome to the show. All right, and we are back with Bourbon and Bullshit. Bourbon and the man behind the bar. Again, second round on us. I guess that's what I'm going to name this episode because Billy is back on the show. Technically, this is our fourth episode featuring Billy Maskers of the Courtesy in beautiful Winter Park, Florida. And for those who have not made the trip out here, you definitely should let me know. I will gladly join you because any excuse to drink with people, it's just there. I love you, beautiful fiance, but you're always studying, so I need people to drink with me. Love you. But we're back, and we typically start the day, every episode with a drink of the day, but because of how we left our last episode, we decided we're going to switch it up. Billy, what am I about to drink right now?
Oh, you're about to try the Chicago specialty, my lord.
Oh, my God. And do I do this as a whole ass shot, or what do I do this as?
You don't want to sip on it. Just get it over and done with.
Just get over and done with. And we are looking for, he said this is shock value?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it doesn't smell that bad. Like I said, I still get like white flour. You still get a little bit gentian, but
it tastes almost like manufacturing. I don't. It smells like that. All right. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
All right, we're gonna see this. Oh my God, that is bitter as hell.
Yeah, it just stays there.
That is a resident that has not paid rent in 2 months and is now squatter's rights.
Yep.
It somehow got worse. The bitterness.
That's the thing, because at first, I don't think it's that bad. But then it's just, that bitterness just stays there. It's not leaving.
It got stronger.
Yeah.
It is somehow fueled by my shitting on it.
Yeah.
It's not as bad. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not as bad as I expected it to be by how people talk about it. But Malort is not something I'm ever going to order other than to fuck with my friends.
Yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, let me get a Malort and a block of ice. Absolutely not.
You would look at that person funny. If someone walked in and said, hey, let me get Malort on the rocks, would you just be like, get the fuck out of my bar? You're a sociopath. Get out of my
Yeah. Like, there's something wrong with you, but okay. Like,
oh, my God.
Like, did you have therapy tomorrow scheduled, or what?
Is this
like,
something?
Dad wasn't there?
Is it? Are you okay?
Yeah.
You pull out a leather couch. Let's talk about this before you ordered this beer. So it's not, honestly, it's not as bad as I expected. All right, it's going away now. It's going away, but that took much longer than I expected it to be. Mm-hmm. That's weird. So why is there any cocktail that actually has Malort on it? Why does it exist?
Nothing,
what was the
but
purpose?
I did have a tequila cocktail that had a little bit Malort in it. So one of my favorite things to do, the owner doesn't like, or one of the owners, Diana, who you just met, like, she doesn't like certain things. She's not a huge fan of like PX Cherry, Jaeger, what else?
Why not PX Cherry? I feel like PX Cherry's in a lot of things.
Yeah, but this is her flavor profile. So like, I always try to like make drinks that like fuck with her and like have those ingredients in there. She's like, oh, I like it, but what's that? What's that? No, I'm like, oh, that's Jaeger. I know you don't like it, but you like this cocktail.
Like a Jaegerita.
Yeah.
Have you tried those before?
Yeah, they're great. It's like a Jaeger daiquiri.
Yeah, I was so mad at how delicious that shit was.
Yeah.
But Malort, is that, other than your tequila cocktails, that something, it just feels like it exists to like fuck with people?
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's been around for like centuries. Like all alcohol was like medicinal at one point. So, like, it was like medicinal, but like now there's no reason for it to be around.
There's a bar in Chicago, a bar called Tassels and Assels. That's a real thing. ASSELS. And it's a drink called From Mother's Ruin. This cocktail includes bourbon, peach tea, passion fruit liqueur, and Malort. It sounded great until the Malort part. I'm curious if that's just the bitters of it. Like they're...
Could be. It actually, that makes sense with the peach. Like,
yeah, I'm not mad at it. It sounds interesting. Like Malort Ball, this highball cocktail includes Malort, Blanco tequila, orange juice, lime juice, ginger beer, and sippy cylinder.
Yeah, so to me, like when we were talking about, like, you know, for me, Malort, I think like potable bitters, like white grapefruit pith. Like that's what you're getting. Like white flowers, white grapefruit pith.
Yeah. So this could work well as a bitter.
Yeah, because like when I made my drink with it, it was like tequila, peach. You know, I was like incorporating that as like the white grapefruit.
That's weird. I know there's some people that's like, I want to hear about the bullshit about Drunk Billy, but this is really nerdy and interesting for me because I like that flavor profile and the dynamic of like Averna, Amaros, aperitifs.
Everything has a space. It's how do you utilize it?
Yeah, like we had some people I was reaching out to because we were talking about how like Amaros and aperitifs don't necessarily aperitifs apparently don't really always have like the biggest space to be able to speak to what they are. You see them. You see fucking something like, I don't know, Camparis. You see that people who don't know about drinks.
It can be very polarizing. It's not for the American palate. Like that's a much more European thing where like, you know, their desserts are like more bitter. Like the American palate's very sweet.
Oh my God. So fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Like when you talk about like, not cocktails. We'll even talk about desserts. Like, I keep saying the word like a lot. There are a lot of typical desserts for other countries and cultures and restaurants, and that seem so basic and just subtly sweet, not overly powerfully sweet.
Dark chocolate.
Yes, bitter. But it's still chocolate.
Yeah,
Americans are like, we're gonna cover this in like cream cheese frosting with vanilla and caramel and all this other randomness. It's like,
and a shot of insulin, you know.
Yeah. And this market, and you should probably chill out because you know insurances aren't that great. But it just feels like that American mentality. And I'm not shitting America. I love this country. You know, weird, white, and blue. But I'm Dominican, so I can also speak to that cultural differences. Like our desserts in DR are very different.
Yeah.
Like the way we treat things are very different. Like, yes, we're not the healthiest culture. We deep fry fruit, call them plantains, and tell you here, this is fucking part of your breakfast. But our desserts aren't overly sweet.
Yeah.
Like, I've only had Death by Chocolate in American restaurants. I've never once gone to a restaurant in another country where they're like, we want to die with sweetness. No, that's not a thing. Flan is not something super sweet. Arroz con bichuela, like all these random things. Arroz con bichuela, bichuela con dulce. Like these are like we actually make desserts where you use beans and sweetness and make it into a stew and make it a caramel. Like it's delicious, but it's basically just sweetened lightly to make it a dessert where Americans are.
Yeah, or like other countries just have like essentially like fruit is like the sweetness, you know, and like that's a.
Yeah, Thai restaurants, like mango rice and all this stuff.
Like the mango sticky rice, all that. Like even, passion fruit desserts, things like that.
Even
like,
mochi.
Yeah.
Like that is not overly sweet.
Yeah.
Even just, it's interesting. So, yeah.
Like green tea desserts, you know, there's still that
matcha.
bitterness to it, you know, like the matcha.
Yeah, I hate matcha. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Really?
I hate matcha. Like, I didn't want to hate matcha. I wanted to like matcha. I wanted so desperately to like matcha because it was green tea-ish. It's a unique flavor, and I just maybe I haven't had real matcha. Maybe I haven't had like real good matcha dessert. But almost always I've had matcha boba tea. This is disgusting. Get this the fuck out of my face. Matcha. It was like
I think the best matcha dessert I've had is like a matcha cheesecake. That was pretty fire.
Yep. I can imagine that's actually delicious, but I'm lactose intolerant, so here I am being a...
Me too.
Really? You just say, fuck it? We're doing this?
Sometimes.
I envy that conviction.
I mean, it's also, though, like, I'm not sure if you noticed, but, like, I got a little bit of the Asian flush. Like, I'm technically allergic to alcohol. Yeah, so, like, Native Americans have it, Asians have it, so we don't have a certain enzyme to process alcohol.
I know that, but I knew that, but I didn't think you would be with the extended experience.
Yeah, so when I was young, dude, as, like, a teenager trying to, like, drink when I was, like, young, you know, just being, like,
young and dumb.
Young kid. Yeah, young and dumb. Billy, what were you doing? Oh, why are you so red? I don't know.
Your poker face was terrible.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing I can do. Like, I get super blush. Like, I trained my body to accept, like, tequila and whiskey. So,
really?
Like, I have built, but it's like a tolerance thing.
Yeah.
It's like, probably isn't the best, but...
It's like poisoning yourself a little bit every day, like Princess Bride.
Yeah. Tolerance. But yeah, I get that flush. Like, so it doesn't matter. There's certain things that really do me in. Like, so unfortunately, like, I got my wine sommelier, but like basically when I got it, like I had to stop drinking red wine. Like I would just get immediately flushed with like whenever I had like not even a full glass of red wine, but like a half glass. Like I would get a headache. I would get flushed. Like there's just something about it. That and like unfiltered beer, kill me.
Really?
Absolutely kill me. That's why you'll usually never see me drink like craft beer and red wine.
That's fair. Shit. That makes a lot of sense. The things that get me the most fucked up. We actually joked about this with my friends when we were in Mexico.
Yeah.
They said, "Oh, it doesn't seem like you get drunk easily." I was like, "No, the only things that make me feel terrible are red wine and craft beers."
Yeah. And it's like, I won't even have a full glass of red wine. It's like, I immediately get like hungover. Like I'll have like half a glass of wine, like, and I'll just get like a booming headache. And
What
I'll turn
about
bright
them?
red.
What about them is just what's
I'm
different?
not sure. Like, it might be sulfites. It might be different things. But what I've noticed is like red wine specifically, American red wine, and
Americans are trash.
unfiltered beer.
Unfiltered beer.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wish I was making this up for the sake of the show, but I straight up told friends the two things that will fuck me up the most, because I don't get drunk off whiskey. I can drink this all day.
Yeah.
I am a self-proclaimed semi-pro drinker, but the moment you put me in a craft distillery or craft brewery, not distillery, craft brewery, and you give me this triple IPA, triple.
I feel fucking terrible. I have like a beer and I'll feel terrible.
Fucking awful. I was
Yeah.
like, why do you enjoy this? There could have this whole time been I'm just allergic to this shit and not known. Fuck. All right, well, I figured out that I'm not just like I'm not soft for craft beer. It's just that they're destroying my body. Okay. Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah, same.
But Malort, maybe something we'll fuck around with, but I don't envision ever using this in anything ever. ever. But I'm glad I got to enjoy it. Because
Did you enjoy it?
I got to. All right, I redact that.
I wish
got
the
to
podcast
experience
could have seen your face.
I'm glad I got to experience it. I did not
Fair.
enjoy it. My face was like, "What the fuck is this?" It tastes when you cut too deep into the orange or bit too deep into the orange, and you got the bad parts in the pith.
Yeah.
Word of the day is pith. All right, so a couple more questions. So we're right back. We've been drinking. We're going to continue finishing the Elijah Craig 18. But all right, now we're getting to know a little bit more about Billy now that he's been drinking. I don't know if I've gotten you drunk enough. Because
I think you have. I'm a little red. So.
Yes. There we go, guys. For those who don't know, part one, the first time we had Billy on, is that a Ridge wallet? We'll talk about that later. Your wallet right there.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Ridge. Yeah.
Love it.
I almost got that same exact one.
Love it.
But the last time we had Billy on, Drunk Billy, was the main attraction, because we got to know the man behind the bar a little bit more, and we got to know about his travels recently to Vietnam in part one. If you guys haven't tuned into that and you're jumping in, go back. There's gonna be some references here. But Billy, outside of when you are here, we talked about the bars you go to, but what do you do for fun outside of, it could be drinking somewhere else.
Yeah.
But what are the hobbies? Like, you work nonstop. At least my interpretation is you work like 60 to 70 hours a week on a light week, nonstop, going at all cylinders.
Yeah, during busy season, like once we're in, probably 70 hours easy every week. Luckily, right now, we've got a good formula. So during like the slow season or like summer months, like I'm down to like probably 50, which is great. But yeah, so my time off, honestly, I'm getting old, so I don't go out that often. You know, like I might go out like once a week. No, not even once a week. Probably like once every other week at the most. But you know, one thing, like I'm very fortunate now. Like I had neck surgery a couple years ago, so I always played sports growing up. So I played basketball, football, did a lot of Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So my time off, like I always grew up in the gym, so I love weightlifting. I just got an inflatable paddleboard, so you'll typically, whenever I have a day off and the weather's good, which could be 50-50 in Florida, like you'll see me at the springs, at the beach, or something like that. But yeah, I try to enjoy my time outside the bar as much as I can.
Like to get as much sunlight and sunshine as you can.
Yeah.
Is there something about that, like when you don't get that outdoor actual real light, do you feel like yourself feel drained or out of it?
A little bit. Definitely, like for me, like I don't know, water's always been peaceful for me. So like, you know, I go to the springs, I go to the beach, like I just feel recharged.
There's a statistic my fiance shared with me. I don't know the exact number, but it's a disproportionately higher amount of people, especially couples that hang out around water, feel like stress relief is like they feel like 26% less stress or something. I don't know how you can measure that, like cortisol levels or something like that.
Yeah.
Where you vacation near water, because that tranquil, that soothing noise, that just.
Yeah, to me it's always very peaceful. I know for some people it's like mountains and stuff like that, but for me, definitely the water. But I would say probably the biggest thing though, if I don't lift, if I'm not at the gym or like doing something like that, like then I get really anxious. But like for me, like I don't know, it's so therapeutic. Like just I've always grown up playing sports, so like for me that's like I turn my brain off then, and like of course I have like a plan and everything, but like it's very therapeutic to me.
Yeah, I feel like athletics, especially we talked about it in the Bourbon and Barbells episode. The athletics have given me an avenue where I it's easy to interpret, especially. And I say this as a big Hispanic guy. I'm just speaking for myself, no one else.
Yeah.
Like my fiance said this about before she met me, when she looked at the image, she's like, "Oh, athletes or you're a big weightlifter, dude, whatever." I assumed you'd be a dick. I told her the truth was we're actually typically very nice people because guess where all our rage is going to? Weightlifting, focusing on a diet, and sticking to a regimen. Like routine helps me.
Yeah.
Not being able to work out, not being able to get that out, not being able to get quiet.
I think you put it best, routine.
Routine.
You know, it's scheduled. We're like creatures of habit. So it's that routine of like, you know, working out, eating healthy, like yeah. I'm scheduled.
Yeah, I'm scheduled, and there's a plan that's no longer something that requires me to think anymore. Because the plan's there. The deal is done. The deal is made. I know exactly what my routine is for today. I could zone out, turn my mind off for a minute. I don't have to be on. I don't have to talk to anyone. I'm going through my process, and I'm building myself up. I see my improvements. That's a dopamine hit.
Yeah, and just like scientifically, like you're releasing like endorphins. You're releasing these specific chemicals that like, make you happier too. And for a while, because like, I broke my neck twice. So for a while, I couldn't even like do that. So like being an athlete growing up, like I had to like change my mentality of things.
We're gonna talk about how you broke your neck, but go on.
Yeah. So like for a while, I just wasn't able. Like I didn't realize I wasn't able to do so many of these things that like I've been doing since a kid. So like now I feel like after having that neck surgery, like you know, I've got like a second chance on life almost, like where I'm able to do all these different things.
Yeah. And to your point, that you said about the routine, or you reiterated about the routine. If I don't have my routine, I feel like I'm cheating myself.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a part of this was my time and it got taken away, and it makes me more frustrated.
Yeah.
Where you can work 9 to 5, you can work 100 hours a day for someone else, but my routine for me, my lifting, my health,
and that's kind of
like
my me time and just like decompressing time, like you know.
Yes, you got to take it away somehow.
Yeah.
And it makes me frustrated. Like, hey, I've already devoted enough of my time to someone else.
Yeah.
Like this was mine.
Yeah.
Give it back. So yeah, it's not infuriating. I will tell my fiance, tell you, all my friends will tell you that if I haven't worked out for like 2 days in a row, I'm not a pleasant person to be around.
Same.
And I'm not a dick, but I'm also a lot more straightforward.
Yeah.
Like people will dance around things or say something. Hey, who's doing this? Who's doing this? Like, shut the fuck up. And people will think I'm mad. I'm not. I just haven't lifted in 2 days.
Yeah.
So I apologize. This is just me cranky. So
my staff will tell the same exact thing. They're like, you need to go do something. I'm like, why? And I'm just like, not even like meaning to do it, but I'm like, why?
My staff, when I was an operations and as manager, they have actually sent me home. My assistant, Charisma, I love that woman to death. I adore her. Charisma and Kamal, both of my assistants, were fucking fantastic. 2 women who I will put against anyone and anything. They are harder workers than half the dudes I've ever met in my life. They will fucking run circles around people. They will fucking destroy you. If you tell them a task, all day. They kept me grounded. They would be the only people in that building who had the balls enough to be like, hey, G, you have to go. I was like, what do you mean? It's like, you are not.
You're being a dick.
You're not normal you. Like, you're being, one would be like, you're being an asshole.
It's like that Snickers commercial.
Yeah, but it's just more cursing.
Yeah.
Charisma would be like, you're being an asshole. Like, you got to go to the gym. Like, go fucking do that. You can come back later, but go work out.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, we have this. She's like, go, leave. You're annoying me. You're fucking pissing me off, and you're making the staff all scared. I'm like, fine. And I'll go lift for my lunch break or whatever. Come back, change. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I brought everyone donuts. Did you stop at Donut King? I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I got to do all that. I apologize. Buying everyone snacks. They're like, this motherfucker is like Jekyll and Hyde.
Uh-huh.
But we got to go back to it. How did you break your neck? Not once, but twice.
Yeah, so
you got to tell me that.
So I broke my neck the first time I was like 23, like just right after college. I was playing a pickup game in basketball. It's crazy. Like basketball is like I played football all my life, like basketball. I did Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Basketball is where the most injury I ever got. It was a freak play.
Fuck?
Freak play. Like just playing pickup ball, like, but like, just my personality is like, I try very hard. Like I hate losing. I hate losing more than I enjoy winning. Like like I'm very competitive. Like in certain aspects, like you know me, I'm very chill. But like when it comes to like sports, game, like board games, like I'm very, very competitive. I hate losing. I hate losing more than I enjoy winning.
That is 100% facts. I'm on the same page with you.
Yeah,
I don't care that if I win. I just don't want to lose.
I expect to win.
Yeah. I operate like I want to win. The goal is to win.
Yeah,
And if it's
that's
not to
that's
win,
my flat
I'm
line.
never going to be last.
Yeah,
Never.
Yeah.
Refuse. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit if I pull I tear a hamstring
Yeah.
straight off the bone. I'm running.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and so for me, like to excel in like these sports, maybe not excel, but just like I did okay.
Compete.
Yeah, to compete, like wasn't the biggest, wasn't the fastest, but like the effort was 110. So
Yeah.
just random game, pick up basketball, loose ball. Of course, I'm going for it. I fucking hate losing. So like, but it was just a freak accident. This dude was like 6'5". We were both going for the ball. No malicious intent. It was accident. We were both going for it. His hip, like just loose ball, we're like diving for it, like. My neck hits his hip. And I think that this is also a pre-existing injury from football, but just hit me perfect. So hit it, I just collapsed, like a pile of rocks, like couldn't move a limb for 3.5 hours. Never forget it.
that's a fucking. Had to be frightening as hell.
Yeah, yeah.
Were they telling you, hey, this is going to come back, or did they not know?
They didn't think it would. And
EMT.
eventually some feeling came back, but like I definitely lost, like even to this day, like my gait is still changed. Like even like the grip strength on my left side is not nearly what it was.
That was the first time?
Yeah.
So EMTs come out, basketball, they
Carted me off in like one of the stretchers,
Stretcher.
took me to the hospital.
Do you even talk to a dude that's 6'5" that did this to you by mistake? Not that he meant it, but like, did
No.
he ever like? 'Cause I feel like
He
there's
was a
part of me that
stranger.
were like,
He felt terrible, but like I didn't know him, like, and I never blamed him. It was a pure
Oh
accident.
no, I don't think you
Yeah.
blamed him, but there's a part of me like, if it was me who did that to you,
Oh, he felt terrible.
yeah, I would call you every day. He's like, hey man,
Yeah, no, like didn't know him. Like, I know there was no ill will. Like,
Mhm.
so I never even thought about that. But like, I'll tell you what, it changed my life. Like, I'd probably say I was kind of a dick before that. Maybe not a dick, but it definitely changed my outlook on life.
I can't imagine you being an asshole, but at least I mean, maybe I haven't deserved it, so I guess
Yeah,
that works for me.
yeah. But definitely changed my outlook in life. Like
3.5
Definitely.
hours of not feeling your
anything.
anything.
Couldn't move anything.
That shit's scary, man.
Yeah. So I mean, 3.5 hours not moving. That's a lot of time to yourself. Like, yeah. So like, I would say that definitely changed like me as a person, my outlook on life, like what a lot of time, like what makes me happy, what I want from life, the man who I want to become. Yeah.
Tell me about that. What did you decide? Right? Why
Just kinda
you
clarify
started feeling
stuff.
everything? What did you decide?
Just like Jesus Christ, like thank God, But just like wow, like I've got a second chance. So from then on, it's like enjoy every second that you ever have. Like we're on borrowed time,
Yeah. Because I feel like there's a lot of fucking like you're negotiating right there. Like
Yeah.
hey, like I'm not a religious man by any means. But
Neither am I.
But the moment like I'm not feeling shit, it's like whoever the fuck is listening, I will do this. I will do this. I can only imagine that. Like there are moments where I'm waiting for like just something. I'm like, if this works out, I'll do this. You start bargaining with like whoever the fuck is listening.
Yeah.
Was there a bargaining moment in your mind that you're like, hey, if I get to feel my fucking leg, let alone everything else, I devote myself to this. Anything that you bargain.
So I've never been a religious person. So
No,
like
same
I definitely I thought that would be unfair. Like I don't really believe in God. Like so I didn't think about it fair. Like if there's God, like let me do this. But like
But you
once I
promise
started-
yourself whatever bargain.
I'd be a better person. It made me think a lot of different things. I think it definitely made me more empathetic. It made me enjoy life more. But it's also things too. It's like a scale of like, to me, like everything's relative. So what's a bad day? And like one of my jiu-jitsu teachers and like just even mentors and like kind of like Muay Thai and stuff like that. It's like a bad day is can't wipe your own ass. And I just started laughing too in this because like that's the only thing I could think of for a while. It's like I'm having a bad day. Can't wipe my own ass. But that's a one. Can't wipe your own ass. That's a bad day. And then everything out of that, like, so it makes me think, I might have a bad day, but it's really not that bad. I can wipe my own ass.
Yeah. I actually joked. I use a phrase. This back when I was working retail pharmacy, an older patient came in. I saw him all the time. Like, hey, how are we doing today? Like, hey, good morning. How's everything going? And he said something. First time, you miss it. The second time he said it, I asked him about it. He said, every day above ground's a good one. And I looked.
It's all relative.
I just kind of was like, okay, I like that. But I didn't like really resonate with me. He's like, next time I saw him, he said it again. And I told him that hits. Like, talk to me about what like that makes sense. I love that. And he said, at my age, my friends are either not around anymore or on their deathbed. He was like 85. It's like every day I wake up and I'm still around is a fucking great day, man.
Mm-hmm.
And he apologized. I'm not trying to curse. Don't fucking apologize to me for cursing. I don't give a shit. You're the ones who call. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, customers are the ones who call complaining if I curse. So he broke that down to me. Every day I get to wake up is better than a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a full conversation. Became really cool with him.
Yeah. Different perspective.
Different perspective.
Yeah.
And I carried that over into my professional life now. So
Mm-hmm.
when I've had, you spend some time in the corporate world, people will call you on Teams or whatever and they expect you to be in a bad mood. And I've had more than one peer say, every time I call you, you're in a great mood. And I said, yeah, because why am I going to be stressed? If it's something I can control, I'll fix it. If it's something I can't control, why am I stressed about it?
Exactly.
I get to wake up every day. I have a beautiful fiance. I have my dogs. I have my health. I have my family. Every day above ground's a good one.
Yeah.
It could be substantially worse.
Substantially.
And what people are so consumed with is social media, everything else, comparing yourself to someone else.
And it's like, what does this person have?
Yes.
Man, like,
yeah, I have what I have.
got a roof over your head, you got food, you're not hungry.
Yeah.
Shit could be worse.
There are people staring at me and saying, I wish I had that. Like,
Yeah.
You should be thankful for what you have. And I think too often we're thinking about the what if or the what's next or what's around the corner. So it's a shitty situation. I'm glad you got obviously I'm glad you are where you are. But it
put life into perspective.
Yeah. I can
Early
imagine
life lessons for sure.
Yeah, that's a fucking traumatic experience that was not gonna fucking. There's no way to emulate that. There's no amount of reading. There's no amount of like fucking podcasting, TED Talks that would have taught that same lesson as aggressively as that.
Yeah,
thing.
there was no YouTube video for that.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Like this experience for sure.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk a little bit about how the fuck you broke your neck a second time. You think by now you have learned your lesson, but not Billy.
Not me.
Be right back, guys. Hey guys, while you're listening to the show, we know that you might want to partake in some drinks with us and enjoy in the libations. Here at Bourbon and Bullshit, we ask that you drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive, avoid Amazon one-click buy, and for the love of God, do not text your ex. You do not need that kind of closure. They've moved on, so should you, Joseph. You should stop Facebook stalking. She knows. She knows. Now, all jokes aside, don't do anything dumb, take care of yourselves, and be safe. Thanks guys, now back to the show. All right guys, we are back with Billy, and just had a random bunch of conversations here off the record, but it's a lot of fun. Billy, super inspirational, man. That story about damn near not knowing if you would ever be able to walk again, not having feeling in your arms and limbs for 3.5 hours, and learning again how to walk.
Yeah.
That's
like my gait's still kind of fucked up. Like after that, like I
I
most
thought you
people
were just
will
walking
notice
with
it,
a swag.
but I can feel it like after doing like get that pimp walk. No, but like after like doing sports and everything, I could just feel like a hitch in my gait, and like but yeah, it took me like a month to make like a fist with my left hand. Like yeah,
And that PT and everything was crazy. It had to have been.
yeah, that shit was ass.
That shit was terrible. I fucking tore a rotator cuff and that PT was ass.
Yeah.
Imagine not fucking having to learn how to walk again.
Yeah.
So, all that's awful. All that's terrible. Why did you go and break it again? Like, how?
I mean, I'm going to throw out there. Wasn't by choice. Wasn't like, man,
would
the first time was
hope.
so much fun. Let's do it again. No,
So-
the second time I got T-boned in a car accident.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that happened.
Is it downtown Orlando? Because that would have led into...
It
what
was
we talked about.
Robinson and Bumby.
So downtown Orlando,
Yeah.
give or take.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why they're closing it early. How long ago was that?
That was maybe like 5 years ago, but that like just re-broke everything. So I got T-boned. Crazy. And I'm still going to work. And I'm getting concussed.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my God.
We had an event that weekend, so like I'm like I have to drop this off. I have to do like one thing. And
Billy, were
Mitchell
you
was
walking
there.
around with a broken neck at the Courtesy?
For sure.
You were walking around with a broken neck at the Courtesy.
For sure. Probably moved like 20 cases of beer that day too. ended up finding out I was concussed. Like got the car down there,
Billy.
unloaded. I don't know. I'm a hard worker.
Billy,
I know. Looking back at it, that was not a smart idea.
You had a concussion and a broken neck.
Yeah. Luckily, like Mitchell was there, and so I'm
Yeah.
like, Mitchell, like I'm getting a headache. Like, do you mind driving me home? He's like, yeah, of course. Like I'll drive you home. But then like I went home, like I was super light sensitive. Like I had like a headache. Like so I was definitely concussed.
Did you get it checked by a doctor? Or did you
Yeah.
okay.
Not that day. I should have done that day, but yeah.
Jesus Christ. Hey guys, Bourbon and Bullshit here is telling you to make sure you check on your bartenders, make sure they're not driving around concussed. And with a broken
I did
neck.
not know I was concussed at that point.
Light sensitivity and headaches. You know.
Eventually, once I was at the bar,
Okay.
it wasn't immediate.
Okay. So when you went to the physician, you went to the doctor, like you have a broken neck.
Yeah,
What
I got
happened after?
X-rays done. They're like, oh yeah, like you could see like there was obviously trauma. I told them about what happened before, but like then they're like, oh yeah, you broke it. Like, and then the reason I didn't get surgery at first is like that was like 15 years ago, roughly like 13, 15 years ago. So
Yeah.
like they're like, honestly, you got feeling back. You're walking. Like we at this point, we can't promise that would be better. You know, so like
there
the
was
risk versus
the risk versus reward.
They're like, I don't know if we would recommend it. So like I didn't do it.
Okay.
So, but I also got accustomed. Like, so if you met me at the old spot, like if you were next to me, most people don't notice this, but like if you're next to me, like I would have to turn my whole body. I
You
wouldn't
have to
turn my
turn your
head.
whole body?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's just a lot of different things I just got used to because I was just like everyday kind of stuff. But like after I got the neck surgery, I didn't realize like how much I had to like kind of compensate for all these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you ever end up getting a second neck surgery, or you just let
No,
it
I got the
ride?
one, and thank God, it's been great.
So you've been fine since.
Yeah, it's funny though. Maybe not that funny. It's funny now, but my surgeon is like, he's like, oh, this is surgery like Tom Brady did, like, except you have like 2 more levels, so I had to get like 4 levels or 3 levels replaced. He's like, oh yeah, Tom Brady was playing like a week after this. I'm like, he got me amped up. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, cool. So like I told like Diana, the owner, and like the staff, I'm like, okay, like I need like a month off or like a couple weeks off. Hell no. Took me like 6 weeks to come back.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I mean fully, but like after like week 1 or 2, I'm like, the fuck, Tom Brady played with this? Like,
Bro, he's a beast. Like,
Yeah.
Like as much shit, we're about to get into football season, but he's a fucking, all the shit people talk about him. He's a workhorse, madman with all that.
and just like professional athletes, like they're on a different level. Like, so I had that broken neck, and like mine was definitely more intense than Tom Brady, but like Jesus Christ, like him playing a week after that, that's crazy. Like, it was terrible.
And
then
they
like
also
when I
have a
was
fuck ton of
younger,
PT people. They
Yeah,
have a fuck ton of staff.
yeah, I'm not sure if you remember when Terrell Owens broke his foot or like leg in the Super Bowl when he was playing with the Eagles.
Yes,
And
yes.
He came back a week later. I had that same injury. Took me like 8 weeks to recover. That motherfucker's playing 2 weeks later.
Yeah, no,
It's crazy.
These athletes, we just went through the Olympics. We just saw these.
They're at a
freak
different
athletes.
level. Like, that puts things in
100%.
perspective. We're talking about perspective, like, puts that, like, perspective. Like, you know, at least for me, like, I always, like, metaphorically align things a lot to, like, sports. Just 'cause, like, that's what I grew up on. Like, but it's like, yeah, they're on a different level. Like, I remember the day where, like, I was like, oh, yeah, basketball's not it for me. Like, went to, like, a summer camp at University of Illinois. We played, like, I was, like, a freshman or sophomore, but we played JV. And this kid from Champaign Central crossed me, and he did this crossover, and I was at the top of the key, and he's, like, dunking it. I'm like, yeah, basketball's not it. It's not it.
No, like to your point, like I always find it funny when not funny, but I watch these Olympic athletes, and then I'll see like keyboard warriors sitting. And it's like, I can't believe he fucked up that dismount. Shut the fuck up. You're on your couch. Like, do you realize that this is like the best of the best of the best of the best, and you're like, I can't believe they fucked that up.
Yeah.
Could you even do that?
No. They, like, have I'm a big basketball fan. Have you ever seen Brian Scalabrine, where like a lot of these play, like, you know, role player,
Yeah.
but still made in the league for like
Mm-hmm.
like over 10 years, so not fucking bad. Where like a lot of these like XD1 players call him out, and they challenge him.
Oh,
and
yes.
he destroys each and every one. It's like,
Oh my
like
God.
I am closer to LeBron James than you are to me.
Yes. Yes.
And like, to put things in perspective, like, and he was going against like XD1 athletes, you know, good, like relatively good players, like, you know, like they play at YMCA, at the like LA Fitness, like they're probably dominating, you know. Scott Brini's on an even different level.
You have like people forget that like these people, the reason why they might seem like, oh my god, he's trashed. No, he's trashed by like the next level elite, but you are nowhere near their level of quote unquote bottom tier. No, no. Be respectful and understand that these motherfuckers will run circles around you. They used to do this old show on fucking. They called
Pros
it
versus Joes. Was it Pros versus
Joes?
Yeah, that's great.
And I used to get so like I remember Ricky Williams.
I remember that one.
And one dude's like, I'm big and strong. Like, there's no way Ricky Williams is going to truck me.
Trucks the shit out of him.
Destroyed, humbled that man. He's like, I don't even want to do this
anymore. He's like, why would you talk shit to someone like that, too? It's like, no, maybe I can surprise him. Like, that's why I'm going after. Like, I'm really slow. Like, maybe you get like a shoelace tackle or something. Like, why would you make this man mad?
You get your one pop. That's it. Afterwards, like, okay, I got to take you serious. I want that one.
This man does not need encouragement or like, anything like that.
Especially a football player.
God,
they're already aggressive. Like, you really want to fucking go at the football player and be like, you can't run through me.
Like, your one chance is like to surprise him. They're like, I'm being as humble as I can, like.
If I could have been that good, I would have been with him. Okay. Yeah. So no, Pros versus Joe shit always made me laugh.
I love that. I miss that. That was great.
I love that. I love sports science back in the day where they were like, let's test how accurate Larry Fitzgerald's hands are.
I love that because that was like my major. So it's
sports
it's like movement science and like the physiology of that. Like, those shows are great.
I think the Olympics always reminds people, or should remind people, that there are some people doing outstanding shit behind, like not under the lights.
Yeah.
Like when the lights are off, like Simone Biles, and for everyone who's a hater of her,
generational talent. Michael Phelps, generational talent. But look, all his records are being broken. To this day, we remember him for swimming and everything. He became massive. He became really popular. And only every 4 years we really know about these athletes because they're doing a lot of this stuff, a lot of these things when the lights are off. So our best aren't getting massive endorsement deals. Mm-hmm. Our best aren't getting random fucking money everywhere. Our best, Simone Biles got famous because of how great she was the last time, but then also got a lot of flack. Space. Yeah, a lot of flack.
A lot of flack. It's like, oh, I can't believe she took a mental health break and took care of herself. You fucking selfish cunt. Yeah. You go in there then.
Yeah. All that pressure, like. Yeah. Oh man, and I actually saw like a recent interview with Michael Phelps too. It was something. I think it was like I can't remember, but it was another country trash talking USA. And you could see the dog in his eyes. Like, he's like, if that doesn't get you fired up, like, I don't know what does. But, like, you can see that competitiveness. I love that. Yeah. I love that, seeing that side of people.
I love that. Me too. I fucking love it. Like, the side note that always pissed me off is I saw a lot of Americans talking shit about Simone Biles.
Yeah.
And we can get into the social political thing later on, but why people didn't love her. And I know that judges didn't love the fact that she was breaking the mold of everything Olympically from gymnast perspective. She was doing moves that people couldn't do.
Yeah, I mean,
like even like what?
We're at a point now with like keyboard warriors, like everyone's gonna try to hate.
Yeah, but it pissed me off. It's like she's out there representing America. Like you could fucking talk shit if you were from another country. She's representing you, homie. You should wish her the best. Yeah. You should want her to fucking take some time off and make sure she doesn't die because she misses a step and that. It's not like she gets a hangnail. She could paralyze herself and kill herself.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going to focus on getting my mind right. Fuck you. You can get in here if you want. You want to tag in? Go
People
ahead.
don't understand the risk for sports. Like, I think it's all fun, and it is. Don't get me wrong. But, like, there are risks. People die.
Yes.
The football player died.
Yes.
Like, people get paralyzed.
Damar Hamlin died for, like, on the field. They canceled the game.
Died.
And the amount of people who got pissed and like, I can't believe my fantasy football scores got impacted. Are you serious?
Really? Yeah.
That's what you're worried about? Yeah. A man died on the field. Died. Like I don't know. I don't get people. I think that there's a selfishness, but to your point about the athletes and being able to see how crazy and how next level they are.
Different level. Absolute different level. It's amazing to see. Like, I love the Olympics. It's always great.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. There's only very few sports I pay attention to in the Olympics. The breakdancing one recently was funny because Australia.
I've been seeing all the memes.
There's some sports I did not realize were a sport.
Me either. I forgot about that.
Then I saw the Australian lady. I was like, "What is this?" Like, I'm not. I don't knock her, but I was like,
I still give my props. Like, she went out there. She competed.
Yeah.
Was that the best set? Maybe not.
But I feel like Chris Brown and That old movie he had with breakdancing could have beat her. But what was it called? Whatever. But no, there's some Olympic sports that I can't breakdance, so I can't talk shit. I'm really just literally turning into that person I just talk shit about. Yeah.
I tried to be super Asian.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah,
Tried breakdancing. Terrible at it.
I can't do that shit. So big ups on her. When they
It's just hard.
Yeah,
It's just hard.
the recent Turkish athlete, the gentleman for shooting, the shooter who came up there with the most casual stance in the world, and people were praising him because he stood out amongst his peers because everyone has specialized equipment and all that, and he called himself a self-proclaimed natural shooter. I'm just a shooter.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Boeing has now signed him for a contract for employee evaluations. Side joke, little small joke there. But he came out and he said, everyone praised me for seeming calm. There was a storm going on in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And someone else, a commentator, said, you have to realize that shooting's one thing that we do, and you do it often, but very often your best isn't around people. You're now in front of the biggest stage in the world, representing your country among millions upon critics.
It's one thing doing it with no people around you, but let alone thousands of people watching you on global TV.
Yep. The video's online now.
Uh-huh.
Internet makes it so forever. This is
Uh-huh.
infamous. Anything you do, you could scratch funny. You could say your underwear was bunched up and you're adjusting. That's going to be a meme tomorrow.
Yeah.
By this time tomorrow, by 2 hours from now,
It's
you're
kind
a
of good and bad. Huck to a girl.
Yeah, she made
It's
millions
awesome
off
that she
shit.
made money off that. Like, I'm very happy to see that. Like, it's two-way street.
Yeah, exactly. You get criticized forever. So, yeah, he seemed casual. He said, no, my head's a whole storm. I am shaking right now. And he shot silver. He got silver with all that, and he's became an internet sensation overnight. So, but even something as simple as shooting, not simple because there's a lot of nuances, but that's crazy. That how good you could be to be silver with no specialized equipment. By the way, I didn't realize there was so much specialized equipment.
Fuck me either.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's like you have a monocle, you have this for wind, you have
It's a monocle.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like,
Your monocle's got a monocle.
I feel like this is cheating, but okay. Yeah. This man just walking out is like, I have to go home and feed my cat, so let me take this shot. Shouts to him and his cat, though. He became an internet sensation, and people forget what his name is, the Turkish shooter. I'll look it up, but there's a joke. If he ever something happens to his dog, his cat.
It's John Wick.
Yep. I want a full length series on this.
I saw something where it's like if something happens to cat, we have a new four
John Wick movies.
Yeah.
His name is Yusuf Dikek, Dikec. He got silver, but ultimately won gold in our hearts. But you broke your neck twice. This is how we got here. You broke your neck twice, and
wouldn't recommend it. 10 out of 10 would not recommend it.
10 out of 10 not recommended. Would not return here.
Yeah.
Fucking service was terrible.
Yeah, not great.
But since
I'm happy. I am happy that happened because it made me a better person. You know.
Yeah.
I think anytime somebody comes across like a traumatic event, it makes it breaks you. I hope to think that I made it, but I really hope that it made me a better person.
Yeah. So I've only known you after both those traumatic experiences.
Probably good.
Probably only pouring Malort every time I show up. Probably if I had met you before. I think you're right though. I think there's humbling experiences with near life death experiences. There's a lot to be said. There's a joke about you only touch the hot stove once. Because that one bad time, you're like, oh, I should never do that again.
Yeah.
You appreciate something that was almost taken away from you.
Yeah.
You appreciate, there are instances of life lessons that take bad experiences for you to go good.
Yeah.
So, that's fair. I'm glad. I mean, that you're still training. You're still doing some other things athletically, correct?
Yeah, try my best,
Yeah. Do you find that those are less satisfying or more satisfying knowing that I'm happy I can still do this, or I'm not as strong as I should be?
A little bit of both. I'm very thankful I'm able to do these things now, just being able to lift. Some of it though too is I'm definitely not what I was doing when I was younger, but I'm like, hey, it's okay. I can do this. It doesn't have to be
It could be worse.
Yeah, it could be worse, you know. So, like I said, very humbling.
Good, man. Good. Guys, we are going to go ahead and pour up our next pour in a moment. We're going to say hi to our sugar mama, come back, pour up some Elmer T. Lee, because I wanted Billy's from mine on this. Yes, we were trying to drift away from some of the more popular distilleries, but I did have the fortunate circumstance to be able to get this. Shouts to Johnny. He's a good friend of mine. He keeps an eye out for good whiskeys when I can get this at MSRP. Was able to procure this. I've never had this. I tried it recently, and I had mixed feelings about it. So when we come back, we're going to go ahead and see where Billy lands on this, and possibly even get a little bit of a preview to his possible cocktail that gets on the menu, featuring Rumpelmans, house staple. Be right back, and stay tuned.
Sponsor of Bourbon and Bullshit, Big Bang Boom Collective is Orlando's burlesque and cabaret entertainment group, comprised of Midnight Fables Cabaret, Big Bang Boom Cabaret, and Foxy's Den. Follow us on Instagram at Big Bang Boom Collective, or join our VIP email list for info on upcoming shows by visiting www.bigbangboomcollective.com.
All right, guys, so we are back. We are going to pivot real quick. So we obviously are here recording at Winter Park, Florida, and we're here at the Courtesy. So this is not, after hours or anything like that, because we all have real jobs. And during this time, someone was going to go enjoy a lunch break, Dylan from the Courtesy, and we decided we want to get perspective of someone that's new in the game. So Dylan, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Not bad. Make sure that you talk right into the microphone.
Yeah, sure.
He's not
How's that?
prepped for this. Yeah, we're sliding towards you. It's mobile. You can get comfortable. Billy said that this would be a great introduction to people who are brand new to the industry in that interview process. So Billy, tell us about that and how you got Dylan into the staff.
So first year at Miracle, we talked about Miracle being crazy. So even the first year that we were here, we knew we were going to be busy, but not that busy. So we obviously needed a lot more staff. And so one of the owners knew a college kid, Rob. He went to UCF, but we needed 3 or 4 bar backs. And I was expecting to interview one person. He's like, oh, yeah. And Gene's got a super raspy voice, great voice. Can't really imitate it, but he's like, yeah, you're going to come in, just interview him, see what's up. And then, so I'm expecting one person. Then comes a whole fraternity. There's 5 kids coming in. And I'm like, what the fuck? In my mind, I'm not saying this because, I want to be professional. Everyone knows me. I want to be professional. But in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And, there's just 5 of you guys on the boat shoes and...
Boat shoes?
Oh, yeah.
You were in here in boat shoes?
Probably boat shoes, gym clothes. I mean, we came in super informal, man. Super informal.
Not that I'd expect, there's no reason to be informal, but I'm like, oh, yeah, this is a fraternity.
Yeah, I mean, it was a job interview for a bar back, and one of our guys, Rob, knew Gene. So, I mean, it wasn't, super complicated, super formal, you didn't expect. So, yeah, we all showed up. I think we might have worn, khaki shorts or something, but nothing too crazy,
That makes it better, Dylan.
I mean,
khaki
there's
shorts,
5
boat
of us.
shoes, polo, and then of course Mitchell. Not the most PC person. He's after that, he's like, Billy, are you okay? Did you just get roofied? I'm like, Jesus Christ, Mitchell.
Jeez.
Oh, I fucking love
But
Mitchell.
yeah, was not expecting that. So I have a fucking group interview, which isn't. I don't know. I've never done a group interview.
It's not really typical.
That's not really
process.
typical. Yeah. But I've got 5 college kids. I'm like, all right. Guess they're hired, I guess. Because also, we were desperate. Desperation is sinking clone. We need bodies. We need people. And then, bar back's not hard. Just you have to be a hard worker. That's it. It's not rocket science. But I'm gonna be honest, Dylan. I'm glad you lasted. I didn't think you were being the one of the last ones here.
Wait, are you one of the last of
I think there's 2 of us left, man. I mean,
but 4 out of the 5 left on great, or 4 out of the 6 left on great terms.
Yeah.
I love Mac. Mac just studied abroad. Rob left on good terms. He just got another job. He finished college. He moved out. So nothing but love.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alex and the other kid.
Who was the other one?
Apparently not important
Man, I
enough.
can't remember.
It might have only been us 5, man.
No. There was one more. He had a chain. He looked kind of Italian.
No, I don't remember. All right, so
There's-
Dylan, tell us about the bar back. How was that when you first came? Because this was your first real job, it was?
Yeah, this is his first job in the industry.
In the industry.
I
How
had a
was
few
that?
jobs, yeah. It was good, man, but, coming from college, you just really expect, a whole different kind of scene. So I had never been to a cocktail bar, of course. I mean, we never drank
Yeah.
cocktails early in college, you know.
You were expecting this to just be fucking Jaeger and Red Bull type of shit? What were you expecting?
Yeah, you didn't really know what to expect, but I mean, going to UCF, you have so many college bars like, I don't know,
Nice.
Lib, Bounce, everything's super, you know, drinks super cheap, dirty, a lot of underage, you know, whatever. But
we do not condone underage drinking here. Bourbon and Bullshit.
no, we do not. We do not condone that.
But go ahead.
Yeah, it was just completely different from what we'd expect. It was nice. It was nice coming with Rob and a couple other guys, you know, because it wasn't as intimidating. Like,
Yeah.
you come in here, I remember we came in and there was, I can't remember who was working, but I remember they kind of looked at us like we were crazy, you know, why is there 5 kids coming in so early to a bar on like a Monday or a Tuesday, you know?
We're trying to work here.
Yeah, we walked in, we're like, is Billy here? You know, we were like, oh, we in the right place? We don't know,
Yeah.
man, but yeah, it's good. It's definitely a lot different than you think it'd be, but it's in a good way, you know?
Yeah. Does it make you want to like continue in the service industry, or did like just explore that, or is it just bar back? And
No, he wants to make money.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
fair.
yeah.
Very fair.
I had a few months left. I had about a year left of college,
Yeah.
maybe a year and a half left of college at that time.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it's been, but it was mostly for a job on the side,
Mhm.
you know. And being in college and, you know, like drinking alcohol, it was hard to say no to, you know. We're like, yeah, we'll go and check it out. You know, work at a bar sounds awesome when you're
Mhm.
21, 22.
Mhm.
But honestly, it's a part-time job. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Isn't
way
that the
better than
worst?
working retail. Like, you're
Yep.
making more money
Hey,
per
hey,
hour.
hey! I came from retail.
Yeah, I'm just saying though. But
You're
like,
right,
you know,
though. You're 100%
I
right,
started
though.
working retail in college, and I worked at a bar. I'm like,
You're
I'm
100%
making
right.
like 3 times as much money. You
You're
know, I have to
million
bust
percent.
my ass more. But like,
You're million
this is way
percent right.
better than doing any other job that you're just getting paid.
Stocking
like $8 an hour.
shelves and fucking
Yeah,
listening to Karens about expired
Yeah.
coupons. I'd rather be a bar back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 times out of 10, I'd rather be a bar back.
And one thing I'll say that is I really love about this job is it brings people out of their shell.
Yeah.
Like even Cletus, like his roommate ended up getting a job here, Clayton,
Yeah.
and he's awesome. Like,
Yeah,
he's really
Cletus
come
is.
out.
A nickname?
Yeah.
Yeah, his name's Clayton, but we just give him shit.
Yeah.
But he's awesome. Like,
We're
but
well
he's
aware that
really come
service
out of his
industry
shell.
nicknames are not the nicest. But he's coming out of his shell. You feel like you're becoming like a little bit more social dynamic, or
For
like,
sure.
Yeah,
At least from
yeah,
my perspective,
definitely.
you and Conti are both really kind of coming out of your shell.
Yeah, I mean, being in like around here, it's hard to not talk to people. I mean, especially as a
kinda
bar
have to.
back. Yeah, but especially as a bar back, if
I
you're
mean, you got
not,
sucked into this show right now. So
yeah, because if you're not trying to be social and talk to people here, it's just really repetitive. It feels super boring doing bar back work. So I mean, the only way to
Yeah.
make it fun and to make it enjoyable, you know, is to talk to people, which is good. Which is good, especially for someone who's in engineering like I am.
Yeah, engineering's not very talkative.
Yeah, no, not at all. So it's important to have that, to have the social skills, especially. So
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
actually we talked about it in the last show. Is like being a so
You
like,
meet different people that you would ever meet from your
Yes.
own major or like whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
And especially like at a bar, you'll meet every type of people
Mhm.
from different economic status, you know.
demographics, areas,
Yeah,
different
yeah,
walks
yeah.
of
People
life.
just want a good drink, you know.
yeah, absolutely.
Do you find yourself now like this? I'm gonna be honest. I gotta ask you, being as young as you are now, like this craft cocktail, like place, like is this now set a standard where you go to somewhere else and you're like, nah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, me and my roommate that works here as well. Neither one of us go out as much anymore.
Yeah.
You know, college bars still have their place, man. You know, if you want to have
we talked
a
about
fun
that.
time like that, they have their place. It's
Yeah.
just completely different from here. You know, so starting to work here, we try to take a lot of stuff home, try to learn a lot of cool stuff. You know, we make our own drinks at home sometimes, stay in a little bit.
Actually, one thing, sorry to interrupt. One
Oh,
thing
go
I
ahead.
love, these guys do, I don't know, they may or may not like try to mess around with a little distillation at home, but like, you know, one thing I always try to do is have like a field trip for us. I love seeing it. So we went to Forward Slash, you know, so
Great
I
place.
love seeing these guys just grill them about
Mm.
like distillation stuff too. It's very funny.
Just learning it. It's the
Yeah.
next generation of fucking like Billy's, basically.
Yeah, I mean, we love to learn, man. That's the only way to put it.
Yeah.
Me and him love to learn. So
Yeah.
whatever we can try to do ourselves, we try.
That's
you know?
awesome.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't know how you are. I'm not going to ask because it's not my business. But I imagine, like, when you came in at 21, 22, like, I was not
Yeah, he's
drinking
legal.
old fashions. Yeah, I'm saying it. I'm not. I hope so. I was not drinking old fashions at 21, 22. So
no,
coming into
I wasn't.
yeah,
Shit.
coming into a cocktail lounge is like one of your first like service industry jobs, and you seeing like these elevated cocktails and seeing all these drinks, and then you go to other places and your friends come over and say, hey, I got a really good old-fashioned recipe. Meanwhile, it's been fucking cultivated with decades of experience, and you're kind of like, you get the cheat code, man, for really good
Oh,
house
yeah.
parties.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, Dylan, I'm going to let you, I know you got to eat. but I want to make sure
work.
And work. I know you got a job to do. I'm not trying to get yelled at by Billy.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't bring in my employees on the show. But thanks for hanging out with us for a brief second. We're going to take a quick break. We normally don't take as many breaks, but want to make sure that you got in, man. Anything for anyone listening, if they're trying to get into the service industry, any tips, tricks, or advice on the spot? Just putting you on pressure.
Advice? Yeah, I mean, with any job, really, I came from construction, so I was doing construction before, which paid good, so I had no problem with that. But it's a lot more hard labor, should you say, So really, if you want to get into this, you definitely you're going to come out of your shell either way, because you need to be social to enjoy it. You need to be social, and that's one of the most fun parts of it. But also, you have to work hard. It's not a super difficult job. It's not complex, which is nice. It's nice to go to school and go to college and then come and go to work and not have to strain yourself, But you got to work hard. But yeah, man.
Definitely getting something if you're trying to expand that social network and skill set, definitely something to get into.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, Dylan, I'll leave you to your...
I've got one question, though. What's your favorite part about this? Because, that's always my favorite thing is seeing different people's perspective. Obviously, you're an engineer. I hope you don't do this for the rest of your life. Conti, as an art major, he better get used to this shit. But, I would love to see, hear what's your favorite part of this?
Of the job in general?
Yeah, just about, the job in general, maybe just the service industry side of it. Because, I know this is your first time being in it. I'm just curious, what's your favorite aspect of it?
Great question, Billy.
Yeah, it's definitely the people, man, 100%. I mean, everyone I've met here, that's mostly the reason I'm still here. Sometimes I think about taking off a little bit just to try to finish school and try to do it, better. But I think the social aspect you get from working here and all the people you meet is probably worth more to me than it is to try to be the best, straight A student.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the only reason I'm still here. But yeah, the people are great, man. Every week I meet new cool people, man. So it's definitely the best part of it.
That's so fucking dope. We were just literally talking about that off air. We didn't get to. We weren't recording that. It was just us. But we at any industry I stayed in my previous industry for 23 years.
Oh yeah.
It had nothing to do with the company and more to do with all the relationships and people I was around.
Which is super important, especially if there's one thing I learned at college, man, it's all about networking, It's all about who you know.
It really is.
All my internships I've gotten for engineering have been through people I know, not through cold applying and trying to have a crazy resume, crazy GPA.
It's any industry. It's all about who you know.
Absolutely.
That is so fucking funny because I it was Wednesday. We were discussing, a couple of my peers were talking about that, getting into different companies and organizations. You could have all the skill sets and it doesn't fucking matter.
Even that's how I got my job here is from a friend's recommendation.
Right.
It's who you know. It's your reputation.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So it precedes you.
It's give or take. Someone has to like you. Someone has to say, I like that person, and I can teach them anything they don't know.
And what you guys didn't hear, Dylan also said he likes his manager.
Yeah, he really, really enjoys his manager.
Yeah, I've had a lot of bosses, man. Billy's the best one I've had so far.
And that has nothing to do with the fact that Billy's sitting right next to him.
No.
Staring at him.
Just staring at him.
To get his ass back to work.
Not one bit.
I promised Billy would not take you too long. I didn't promise him. I promised myself because I don't want to get yelled at. But Dylan, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you coming on. I know this was sudden. I literally threw a mic at him and headphones, and he fucking took the punches and rolled with it. So good luck in engineering and enjoy your salad, which is what his lunch was. Guys, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, Dylan will no longer be with us. At the table, he still be working and doing stuff. Be right back, guys. Hey guys, while you're listening to the show,
Bourbon
we
and
know that you
Bullshit,
might...
Big Bang Boom Collective is Orlando's burlesque and cabaret entertainment group, comprised of Midnight Fables Cabaret, Big Bang Boom Cabaret, and Foxy's Den. Follow us on Instagram at Big Bang Boom Collective, or join our VIP email list for info on upcoming shows by visiting www.bigbangboomcollective.com.
Hi guys, we are back. Dylan is enjoying his lunch in the distance. He might overhear some of what we're talking about, so we're going to try not to talk too much shit about him. God damn it, he should be back at work, right, Billy? No,
can't promise anything. It's hard to find good help.
There's at least one of the two Dylans worked out. Listen, so when we got back into it, I do think it's interesting though when we talked about the service industry, all this, just the people you're around, right? That fucking builds a dynamic. Yeah, builds that friendship, builds that camaraderie. We talked about how the service industry in general, you have that those crowds, those other people that branched out from your Ravenous Pig days and all of that, and maintaining that not a patronage, that partnership. Do you find yourself reminiscing what was your favorite team or people that you're oh my god, that person elevated some shit or made me like just like you know when like there's the A team to come into work, people that you're like, man, I'm so glad they're doing well. It's just anyone you want to highlight.
Yeah, of course. Like, just being like a human, like there's certain people you just work well together. Everyone has a strengths and weaknesses. So it's like accentuating each one of those, weaknesses or strengths. So just naturally, like people work better with certain people. Like, but I try not to like think too much about that or like, A team or something like that where, life is always changing, like I think we talk about this a lot where it's, you have to be adaptable. Like,
That's fair.
Why live in the past when the future is here?
Fair. Good enough. Good.
Like,
I think that's a great point. We'll leave it there because I don't want to ever like make you think about. I think it's important to highlight to your point. Things are changing. It's dynamic. The industry's dynamic. Anything good is dynamic and changing.
Yeah.
We're gonna rank Elmer T. Lee. Anything on this or any thoughts before we start about the Buffalo Trace Distillery? We talked about them a couple times because we had some of their stuff before.
Yeah, I mean, I love their stuff, but as a buyer, I'm all about value. So for what they're selling at regular, like, it's great if you can get it. The secondary market for this price, like if it's, it's up for 400%, is that worth the price? Probably not. To be honest, like I'd rather for that same price or that secondary market price, like I'd rather have a pour of the Elijah 18. But honestly, I'm excited to try this because it's probably been a couple years since I've had a pour at Elmer T. Lee.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, like I just don't drink that much anymore.
That's fair. That's 100% fair, especially when you're in it.
Cheers.
Cheers. We're going to try this out. So full disclosure, I have tried this at home with my friends, but at the time I might not have had the best outlook on it based on what we were doing. So definitely looking forward to trying this.
I mean, same proof as the Elijah 18. You definitely get a little bit more of that. It's definitely a little bit sharper than Elijah 18. You don't have the same finish as Elijah 18. Also, it's not 18 years old, though, but...
Yeah. There's a harsher finish to this.
For sure.
There's a harsher, I don't know what to say, like, what goes in this. But do you feel that aftertaste, like, it's that last bit? Like, you've had the drink and it almost feels like something punchy. Oh, like there's something a little bit punchy there where it's like you're not necessarily, like, it's not as smooth. It doesn't finish clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that weird? Am I describing that well? Like, I feel like the last aftertaste of it is not as clean as like Elijah 18. I know it's 18.
Yeah.
We're comparing apples to oranges, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But there's just something that stood out to this, especially when you're talking about like third party or like aftermarket retail. For anyone listening at home, when we're talking about third party and aftermarket retail, Elmer T. Lee will resell at $300 easily. Yeah.
So actually, one thing that I talked about all my employees about, and just in general, what I try to use, like, I don't really enjoy the word smooth. So like a big thing, people will always understand if something's good or bad. Like, it's like why I would say argue this is might be even more of a wine term, where it's like, it's good or it's smooth or it's this or that, but it's like the explanation of it. Like people know if it's good. Generally like, oh, it's good, but like, why is it good? Yeah. So I ask every time when people are like, why for my employees, when they're picking a certain spirit out for a cocktail or this, like, oh, it's good, it's smooth. Why is it smooth? What do you mean by smooth? Like, is the finish as long, or like you get more of a bite at the beginning? Like, smooth is like very subjective. Like, what do you mean smooth? Like,
that's fair.
But for me, I would compare this, and like, definitely apples to oranges. Like, the finish, like the flavor doesn't last as long, or the finish isn't there as Elijah 18. I would say it's a little bit harsher. You get more of the alcohol. So yeah, to me, that's like what you're equating as smooth. But for me, I try not to use the word smooth.
So then let me.
I think it's a little overused.
That. So this finish feels more.
It's shorter.
Shorter.
Yeah.
Shorter, but then also very pronounced at the end, where it's sharper and not as enjoyable as it was for Elijah Craig 18.
Yes.
I feel like there's a harsher after finish.
Yeah.
Where the first initial on the palate feels great. There's good flavor notes, there's good aromas, everything is good, and then at the end it feels like it surprises you with a little bit of a finish that wasn't expected.
Yeah, I would say this is definitely a little sweeter too. So I, if I had to guess, probably a higher corn mash bill too.
Yeah, probably. We could look it up, but for those who are asking about why, like, not asking why, but the Elmer T. Lee is part of a run. So there's like 5 different runs of Elmer T. Lee. This is their standard.
Yeah.
This is just a regular one. But this one would resell anywhere from $150 to $300. Even I've seen it on some markets at $400, depending on where you are.
Yeah. I've seen like $354.
Yeah. But the bottle itself is, MSRP is like 60,
should be like 70.
Yeah, 65 to 70.
Yeah, if you get it for 70. Great
Yeah,
bottle.
which is exactly what I paid for it, because we do not have that kind of an expanded budget here at Bourbon and Bullshit, unless you guys keep signing up for the Patreon. But online, when you look at their website itself, it says Elmer T. Lee, named after master distiller Emeritus Elmer T. Lee. Wow, that's a really fucking strong name. This whiskey had hand selected and bottled to the taste and standards.
I'm not sure if there's a better name for like a whiskey distiller.
Emeritus
like a bourbon
Elmer T.
distiller.
Lee feels
Yeah.
like someone who should either be running your like troops
Yeah.
or making your bourbon.
Yeah.
Like that's nothing else.
Yeah.
Should not be a substitute teacher anywhere. I don't care if he's a baker. You fucking
Nope. I don't want to see him in school.
No. Nowhere near nothing. I don't even want you to be in a butcher shop. You
Yeah.
fucking go out there.
Yeah.
You go either make me whiskey or win me a war. That's fucked up. Declared by the man who knew.
So we've been drinking now.
Welcome to Bourbon and we've been inebriated. Wine enthusiasts rated at 91. An elegant, complex whiskey. The flavors are nice and tight. I don't know what nice and tight mean.
Yeah. Right.
Uh,
But I mean, it's marketing terms. Like so. Like this all.
yeah. Similar
wanna
to what
hear,
you said
like-
about smooth. Like, similar to
I
that.
really hate that term because
Yeah.
there's certain things like where I tell my employees like when we're describing things like, oh, it's smooth. What's smooth to me?
Yeah.
You know, like there's certain things like so. I'm always trying to have them explain why you like it. You know, where the flavors you're getting because like everything's subjective. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like but it's like the big difference between us. Or at least I like to think between like service professionals, like we're able to explain why we think it's good.
Yeah.
Where the normal consumer's like, oh, it's good, but why is it good? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's smooth. You know, but like we're able to explain it's smooth because like you know the finish is longer. You know, you're getting more spice, it's more complex. You know, the alcohol, even though it's the same percentage, like it's less sharp. You
Yeah.
know, so there's
Well,
to me it's the explanation of
Yeah.
it.
Well, the Elijah Craig felt longer, finished with more. It just
More depth and complexity.
Yeah,
you know, you had
it
that baking
lasted.
spice. You still had that initial bourbon sweetness, but you know,
Yeah.
you got those like baking spices. You got a little
Well,
bit of
this-
that rye. You know,
Well,
that's
this feels
why.
harsher at the end and then gone.
Yeah, and gone.
And doesn't the harshness suddenly is what I didn't
It's
really
there.
enjoy.
Yeah,
That instant just harshness.
yeah.
Which
I would say the nose and Elijah's better too. You got more of a full bouquet. But, you know, there's
there's nuances.
yeah, there's nuances, but also I laugh too. It's like you know, bourbon drinkers are almost like wine drinkers, where to me it could get a little stuffy. Like, oh, this smells like mascarpone. Bitch, like what does mascarpone like smell like? Like
Fair.
You
I
know-
had that I hate that
what are we
shit.
talking about?
My palate's nowhere near educated enough to say that, but I also feel like half of their shit is bullshit.
Yeah, it's all marketing.
Yeah. It's like
It's like
subtle
single.
marketing.
It's like small batch. What small batch mean? There's no legal term.
Yeah. Yeah, you just put a name on it. Make it sound like it's better because it's smaller because you think it's more scarce. Something like diamonds.
Sounds sexy.
Yeah. A small batch from
Yeah.
a single barrel in what? What? Like cultivated in the United States. All bourbon is. What are you talking about? Like,
Yeah, you're not. I mean, you're not wrong.
completely vegan. What? Yeah, I guess all spirits are.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking?
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Yeah,
Like,
it's just wild.
but yeah, I hated that shit. Like we would talk. We have friends, Kevin and my significant other and Amanda. We all hang out, drink, and I would look up the notes that they say online to just see how close we would get.
Crazy.
And the notes online it tastes like caramel, hazelnut, frangelico.
Butterscotch on a rainy
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, it's like.
What does that mean?
How did you equate this? Smells
Yeah.
like meteorite. What are you sniffing, sir? Like, what is happening in your life? Like, I want that life.
Yeah.
But enough of Elmer T. Lee. So we talked a little bit about the service industry. We talked to Dylan. We talked to everyone here. Well, not everyone. We got a lot of people still that we want to fuck around and find out with. If a friend was visiting in town right now, and you told them what bar to go to, right now, where would you first send them to, and what would you tell them to order?
So most of my friends are assholes.
Okay, so
So,
a friend you liked.
I like all my friends.
I'll fuck with you. If there was someone like coming in from out of town and
Okay.
they said
Are they in the industry or not in the industry?
non-industry,
Non-industry?
non-industry, like a patron, never been in the industry, they're just looking for a great spot. If I walked in and did my whole MO where I go to the bartender and say, where do you drink and what should I order?
Okay. So I would say Sunroom, Otto's Hot Dive, Death in the Afternoon, Tori Tori.
Yeah, 3. I can't keep going. Give me
Oh.
3 and what to order from each. Yeah, it's tougher now, right? When you actually have to, because remember, if I'm here on vacation, I need to know. It's not dismissive of anything else, but I got a limited
Damn,
time. I'm on
3?
vacation.
Okay, I'm gonna
Because if
cheat.
not, I'll be drinking for the next 2 weeks here. Yeah.
Oh, this is
Right?
a fucking
It's tough.
question. Okay.
Because there's so many great things out here, but
Because
if someone's on finite time,
Okay, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna say 4. I'm gonna
okay,
say,
fine, because you took
Sunroom?
me up with Malort.
yeah.
Hook me up.
Sunroom,
What am I
Death in the
ordering?
Afternoon, Otto's High Dive, Hanson Shoe Repair.
All right, what am I ordering at Sunroom?
What are you ordering?
What am I ordering? What do you say I should
Anything.
order?
They are phenomenal bartenders. I think any of these places, you get a drink off their menu. They take their time. They make sure that every drink is perfectly crafted. Like they put all their effort in there. Get a drink. Trust your bartenders too. If you don't want anything on the menu, do it. You'll be good no matter what.
I've actually
I have
enjoyed
full
that.
faith in all those places.
All right, good. Because I will probably be posting these places. Like, these places are great to go to. I think I've gone to Tori Tori. I've gone to Tori Tori definitely in the afternoon, and Hanson Shoe Repair, obviously. Hanson's fell off a little bit for me. Not like by standards, but like it's just something like it never came to my mind because you have to do the passcode, you have to do all that. I forgot about it. Hanson still has that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it became Mathers was downtown. You were downtown. A couple places were downtown. It became significantly easier that in the moment. To
Yeah,
just
because
go to those places.
if you were into a Hanson's, you're probably going to us. You're probably going to the woods before. So like it was like a destination. Now it's like you have to just go for Hanson's, and then that's probably it. And then you're driving somewhere else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because of how downtown.
So I
it is.
definitely get that.
So it became
But
one of like
Hanson's
a one-stop
OG.
shop.
It's like us, Hanson's, and the woods where they were the first like 3 cocktail bars.
Yeah, that's fair.
So gotta show them love.
Got it. 100%. 100%. Are there any unique cocktails in there? Definitely afternoon for those who are listening for the first time. Definitely afternoon is an absinthe themed bar.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of absinthe. For those who are like, oh, black licorice, grow up. Don't be a baby.
Oh, and Arthur's
Yeah.
wealth of knowledge. He will give you all the in-depth information on absinthe. Like
Yeah.
Arthur and Julian, the owners over there,
Mhm.
amazing people. I love those guys.
So very different than what you would think as your atypical, like your typical bar scene. Like, right?
Yeah, I think also like all liquor has had like a misconception at one point.
Yeah.
Absinthe definitely had it too. It was banned forever. It didn't become legal in the United States until like I think 2007. St. George in California was the first like American distiller to make absinthe, like legal absinthe in the U.S. But it's got like a very rich history. I'm not going to dive too much into it, but yeah.
We'll save it for their episode. Yeah, you can dive in
Yeah.
as much as you want. But
No, but every liquor has like had some sort of prohibition somewhere, and
yeah.
it's not like any of the other ones where it definitely did have a prohibition.
Yeah, and absinthe, like I think, also got sensationalized with wormwood and what is it? The hallucinogenic properties and all that stuff.
You would die like 20 times over alcohol poisoning before you would ever hallucinate.
Yeah, exactly. It became
Crazy.
sensationalized. Like people
Yeah.
thought, like, oh my God, this is it. We got to do this because we're gonna, like, you get to see things. No, that's not how it really works. You wouldn't really just be
No.
able to walk into like a Publix liquor store and get
Yeah.
hallucinogenics. Like if you saw it on the shelf, you're probably not hallucinating, my man. Relax.
You're definitely not hallucinating.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. It's like I would stare at people who was like, oh my God, you get to see shit.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't just sell this next to Crown Royal and
Yeah.
see shit. Like, stop.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's the like disregard of the flavor profile because it's quote unquote tastes like licorice.
Yeah, and it's cool because like every culture kind of has something similar. Like Colombians have aguardiente.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's every culture kind of has that like star anise, black licorice kind of like flavor too.
There's depth of flavor, and we talked part 1 about Campari, Sambucas, like
Yeah.
ooh, Sambucas.
So
great.
like almost every culture has something pretty similar. Like the Middle East has like uzu. So,
oh
like,
my God, Uzu is great.
Yeah, but it's like that
Jeez.
same kind of flavor profile. That might be a little bit more fennel forward, but it's a combination like those kind of flavors.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I'm not mad at it. Definitely Afternoon is one of my favorite places to go to, and we've gone there more than one date night. So just waiting for the other Arthur, because when you said Arthur for a split second, I don't know shit about absinthe. So a couple questions from the listeners before we close out, because it's about 15 minutes away from our closeout from part
Cool.
2. And then we're going to drink recreationally. Mind your business, everyone. If you were to give advice to anyone that was going to take on a bar manager role at a new and upcoming location, what would be the 2 tips you would give them?
One is understand the concept. don't impart what you want to do above the concept. So understand what the concept is, do it. Don't try to impart all your flavor profiles on it. Try to stay within that concept. And 2, put a cot in the back, because you'll be living there.
Oh, the cot! I was waiting for that. I was like, be prepared that your work-life balance is
New spot.
trash.
Put a cot in the back.
If you want it to succeed, you're gonna have to put in those hours, man.
Yeah. At least in the beginning, get
Yeah.
make sure that ship is right, and you can kind of level out. But like, you're the leader. You are the reason why it succeeds, or the reason why it fails. 95%. There are other circumstances, but like, you are the general motor for success or like failure.
Yeah. Oh, you can expand on that if you want, but I think it's very, really wild how little people who don't work in service industry, retail, medical, or anything like nurses, all that. People who don't work in those industries have no idea how much effort goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, because like our whole job is to make sure you don't see it behind the scenes. Like
Exactly.
Mitchell, for example, amazing. Every week he does about 20 hours of prep work to make sure these cocktails come out in a reasonable time.
Mm-hmm.
People don't see that. People don't see us batching cocktails. People don't see us doing all these other things, and that's for a reason. We're trying to give you experience. Like, we don't want you to see these things, but it has to happen to make sure that the product comes out how it's supposed to.
Yeah, and even for those motherfuckers who order off menu, how many simples and all this stuff you make in
Yeah.
advance just in case you might need them. And then
Yeah.
how many do they go bad because you didn't need them, but
Yeah.
you had to do that prep work.
So that's a big thing that me and him got on the same page about is having these pars. Like, we got into like these pars is amazing because like if I go on vacation or he goes on vacation, like we have these pars for a reason. We're like, oh,
Pars?
he's actually yeah. So we like shit.
Explain it.
I've got a
Yeah,
ton of
so-
Excel sheets. Excel is my life. So we have par sheets like every week, like where is the simple syrup at? Where is the pineapple syrup at? Where are all these at? So every week, our run ratios, half liter of this, 1 liter of this. So like if he goes on vacation, all right, we need to do this because our run rate's 1.5 liters of this syrup per week. So you need to do 5 liters of this before you go because we'll be good until you get back. But it's also a fine line of making sure we do enough without it going bad. The same thing when I leave for vacation, like I like to think all these systems I have set in place are for a reason. It's about being efficient. That's one of my pillars is being efficient. Time, like I know I've said this earlier, but like time is the most valuable resource. I'm not here to waste anybody's time. Don't waste my time. I'm not gonna waste yours.
And when every minute matters. I think we especially service industry, if you take 2 minutes longer than you need to in a cocktail or what a perceived need to by a patron, that could be an impact later on.
Where our ticket times we're 5 to 10 minutes. We're busy. 10 minutes isn't that bad. But like 2 minutes out of that, that's 20%. That's money.
That's money.
As
And
a
that's that
business, that's
experience, and that person's
It's
now
everything.
taking mental note of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I've sat at a table where I have so many friends in the industry. Unfortunately, I'm not in the service industry, but I have so many friends in the industry. I hear people who have never experienced this
Yeah.
go, they took a little long with my drink.
Yeah, no shit. It's 'cause
Karen.
we're on a wait list.
Like, there's 88 people in front of you.
Yeah.
Chill.
Yeah. Trust me, we're trying to get out as fast as possible.
Like,
Believe me.
I promise you they want you
And
to be drunk.
like that's something too. It's like if I know it's taking too long, like I will rectify that situation. But
Oh.
like trust me, the goal is to get it out as fast as possible. But also it's a fine line getting it out as fast as possible, but also at perfectly.
Yeah. Was it quality over quantity?
Yes.
Like, I'd rather have the best experience as opposed to the fastest experience.
Yeah, and I'd rather have a perfect cocktail go out maybe a minute or two later than a shitty cocktail that I have to comp.
Yeah. Or a shitty cocktail, I'm going to send back anyway, you're going to redo.
Yeah.
Like, comp, yeah. But
Yeah,
then,
because
like,
at that point, you're going to have to make it again.
Yep.
So you're just wasting even more time.
Those are the two things that I think, those are big, those are great. Those are fantastic points because there's a lot of especially an up-and-coming bar manager might want to impact or impress and push his
Shortcuts.
thoughts.
There's no shortcuts.
Yeah, but they also might, I have a vision of what I want my first bar to be. It's like,
Yeah.
this isn't your bar.
This
You're
is
the
your
manager.
bar. You don't own it. Yeah.
You're the manager of the bar.
You're the manager of the bar. Yeah.
If you're in a tiki cocktail lounge and then you randomly pull out an absinthe thing,
yeah.
it's like they're going to look at you. Like,
Time
"Who
and
are you?"
place. So it's time or place.
Yeah. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
It's almost
So,
like humble yourself
for
and
me,
pride
like,
aside.
I'm an extension of Diana and Gene, and I
Yeah.
love them. But like, for me, like, my goal, I'm an extension of like what they want to happen here. Of course, like they're amazing. They give me enough room to like kind of make it my own for sure. At the end of the day, I'm an extension of their vision.
Yeah. I mean, they're the owners.
Yeah.
You're managing but so
They
far
pay
I
the
do feel-
bills, they sign my checks.
Yeah. I mean, and I also think that there's a lot to be said that they do. They trust you.
Yeah.
Right? You
yeah.
earn that trust. You build that trust. So for a new bar manager, that would be a great fucking.
Yeah.
Hey, relax, play your part, do it well,
Do your
execute.
role. That's one thing I tell everyone too. Like, everyone has a role. Do it.
This is a weird question. I don't even know how this. If you were
Why are you laughing?
because you'll see. If you were stuck on an island and you only had one type of liquor
Tequila.
to drink, okay, what would it be? That's not rumple. So you already like immediately like not rumple.
I'll say probably tequila.
Tequila. What tequila? What brand?
Ooh. That's tough.
Yeah.
Probably Fortaleza. If I had to just pick one.
Fortaleza is
I mean,
fantastic.
there would probably be like 5 or 6. I'd be like, yeah, I'm cool with that. Like Fortaleza. There's so many amazing tequilas out there now. Fortaleza.
like all those.
Lalo's amazing.
So mad that I don't get that as often as I would like to. I've had like 1 or 2 sips of Lalo, like in life.
It's so great. Story's amazing too.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, juice is great.
What's
Tequila.
the story?
Oh, dude, that's the grandson of Don Julio.
I did not know that.
So they had his dad had to sign a non-compete. He didn't because he was a kid. So he was like Don Julio's like grandson. But like his dad had to sign a non-compete, but he's a kid, so he didn't have to.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And then they do one thing. They do a Blanco. They use champagne yeast, and they do it well. Love to see it.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting as shit.
Yeah.
Let's look up Lalo at some point.
Yeah.
Shit. Huh? Okay. So
Lalo.
it'll be Fortaleza or Lalo.
Tequila Ocho, G4. I know I'm missing some. Tapatio. There's so many amazing tequilas. But I'd say if I'm drinking for like the long haul, so also agave is a stimulant. All the other alcohols are depressants. So yeah, I'll probably choose Blanco tequila.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then obviously we found out why you picked Rumple Mint. Then the trend of okay. All right. We talked about this already about like what drink you would drink at another bar. What would you recommend? If you had a young lady drinking by herself, this is from my fiance, by herself, she came in and said, "I don't know what to pick." What would you give that young lady by herself?
It's a loaded question. So we do get this a lot. So my rule of thumb is ask what they normally like to drink. So then you get an idea of what they want. Because
She's trying to be
you want to
adventurous. She just cut her hair. She dyed it. She's on an adventure tour.
Okay, but you can judge a book by its cover, and a lot of times that's not how it is.
Yeah.
So like
But
I
she
feel
tells
like,
you.
yeah, where you think, not to sound sexist, but like a lot of people think like, oh, a girl, she doesn't like an old fashioned. It's too strong for
That's
her.
Rosanna. She loves old fashions.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So it's like you ask what they like to drink,
Okay.
and then you make a decision based off that.
All right. So she says, "I want a tequila cocktail."
Yeah.
What
So
are
we have a general rule of like what we ask. So it's like, okay, what do you normally like to drink? And then give us spirit preference. And then do you prefer refreshing or spirit forward? Refreshing, like, old fashioned, Manhattan. Refreshing for tequila would be like margarita or something like that. And then based off those answers, you can make a decision. And it's like, do you have any allergies? Okay, cool.
No allergies. In this question, no allergies. In this question, no allergies, and she's picking tequila.
Cool. Spirit forward or refreshing?
Spirit forward.
Okay. Now I'd probably recommend a Oaxacan old fashioned. Just like a
Okay.
tequila old fashioned, a little bit of mezcal. It's a nice intro of mezcal.
Yeah.
So it's another talking point too. It's another selling point.
Okay. Yeah, she so love her to death. She went into a group of friends, went to sushi place or something like that. She went somewhere with sushi, and she ordered a mezcal old fashioned, and everyone at the table looked at her funny. She's like, "Mind your
Was it
business."
good?
It was fantastic.
Hell
It was
yeah.
actually really good. She was like, "Mind your business."
Yeah.
She's also the woman who orders Rittenhouse rye meat because
Yeah.
she wants to be lots of
No,
she's
she's
like,
badass.
Yeah, I will fucking burn down a city if she told me to.
Yeah.
If she meant it enough. She's like, yeah, go do that. It's like, I guess I gotta go to jail now. But Billy, we're wrapping up. Obviously, I have plenty of more questions, but we're at that we're about 4 hours into your day with me. So, anything you want to say? This is like the outro for this second part. We'll probably come back in a couple of months when you're ready to come back. We have obviously Diane and Gene coming later on.
Yeah.
But anything you want to say, listeners, tips, tricks, anything for anyone looking for a drink experience, just service industry insight, anything. Words of wisdom.
No, just really thank you for having me on the show again. Like, it's been an honor that you got like the viewers wanted or the listeners wanted me back on here.
110%.
Pretty cool. So, but if you honestly, if anybody has any questions, like, just hit me up on Instagram. Shoot me a text.
What's
like,
the Instagram?
Instagram bmask BMASK 1607.
Yeah.
Shoot me a message. Like, I'll always respond. Maybe give me a day depending on the time of the week, but I'll always respond.
And never give your phone number on here.
I did during the pandemic, and I'm still getting
Yeah.
a lot of junk mail.
Don't give your phone number.
Yeah.
Anywhere. Bro,
Yeah.
I have given my phone number by mistake because it's like, sign up for this rewards program. And now I
Yeah.
get messages
I
like,
still
would you
get
like to sign up for
terrible messages.
It's like, I don't want any of this.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're calling me.
Yeah.
Billy, it was a pleasure. It's at the courtesy because you guys got hacked,
We
right?
did get hacked.
I was so mad about that. I was like, I can't tag you.
Trust
in
me, we were
anything.
mad too.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah. That was silly of me to say out loud.
No, you're good.
Because I remember like the episode was about to drop.
It literally happened when we were dropping the episode.
Bro, there was a part of me, the anxious side of me is like, it won't allow me to tag them. Does Billy not happy with the episode? And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then you hit me up and like, hey, by the way, we got hacked. I was like, oh, anxious me was so insecure there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, but what's the new IG for the courtesy? Oh, he has to now
Courtesy
loading.
Underscore bar. Let me double check that.
Yeah, he's gonna double check that.
Let me double check that. We have a new one, so please follow.
But straight up and down, like I thought it was wild. I was like, what is going on? I can't tag you or anything. And
the
Billy-
courtesy underscore bar.
The courtesy underscore bar on IG. Do
Yep.
you guys have any other social media platforms or is just that?
Not anymore.
Good, yeah,
Just
unfortunately.
that, yeah.
I hope I hate scammers. I don't know what the fuck they're opening again, but I hope they catch
Wild.
chlamydia. And it doesn't cure.
So syphilis.
Syphilis. I want them to get syphilis and it hurts in their eyes. Guys, outside of that, Billy, it was a pleasure, man. I fucking would love to have you on the show all the time, but you're busy as hell. So we're probably scheduling something in like
It's always a fun time.
February, probably. Like
Yeah. Yeah. So it won't be before December.
it will not be before he is gone. Guys, definitely stay tuned. We're going to be sharing a lot of their upcoming events. We're going to be sharing their Nightmare on Orange. We're going to be sharing their Miracle on Orange. We're going to be sharing their Lunar New Year, hopefully, if they do it.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
be here probably personally for Krampus. I will make it a
yeah.
point this year to make sure I'm here for Krampus because fuck Christmas. You got a lot of stuff going on. Make sure that you're supporting your local bartenders. Make sure that at some point you understand that, yes, you've shared your trauma with them, but they have their own shit. So say hi. Buy them a shot. Fucking tip your bartenders. Don't be a piece of shit. Because I hate those people who don't. Follow us at bourbon_and_BS on Instagram. I'm making TikToks because you guys apparently find it really funny to make day drinking jokes because we're all alcoholics and there's meetings. We should probably chill out. Haktua cocktails have been a hit. If there's a cocktail or a drink that you want me to make, please let me know and I will do so. I had someone recently hit me up about a root beer float with bourbon ice cream. I don't have the Ninja machine.
That'd be a fire with Jaeger.
Would it?
Yeah.
I don't know if you're being funny.
No, I'm not.
A root beer float with Jaeger?
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're going to probably be featuring a root beer float with Jaeger and recording Billy making his Rumpelmann's cocktail that we did not get to experience. So we're probably going to have that soon online if it's free enough. But make sure you're liking, subscribing, sharing with all your friends. Give a 5-star review. Make sure you support local. Your local bartenders are way better than walking into a Fuddruckers or Bar Louie or any of that shit. Sorry, I'm not shitting on them directly, but indirectly, I think that something about a person they'll feel is better. Go ahead, Billy. I know you want to say something.
Yeah. Appreciate it. We appreciate the love. Just treat everyone with respect. You never know what anyone's going through.
1,000,000%. I think that is the best way to close. All love to those industries. I like that personal feel. I like knowing that I walk in, I know my bartenders, I know my people, I know the people I consider my outside of my regular life friends.
Yeah.
And
trust us, get to know us because we love meeting people. We love making regulars. Like, we love meeting new people.
Yeah.
You know, so don't be shy.
Yeah, don't be shy. Ask them about them. I think it's important to understand that they're people too, and they're just not here to fucking serve you a drink. This is not a Keurig for fucking cocktails. You can buy those on Bed Bath & Beyond and see how well they turned out as a business model. But as always, don't text your ex. Avoid Amazon one-click buy, and fucking just don't drink and drive, you dumbasses.
Please don't. Uber, Lyft.
Love you guys. Be good and stay safe. See you next week. Hey guys, today's episode is brought to you by Burn Termite and Pest Control. I first met Joe Byrne on Full Frontal Nerdity Show and decided to give his company a try. They have been the best pest service I've ever had. From flexible scheduling, attention to detail, fair pricing, and everything you love about a small business, I highly recommend Joe Byrne and Burn Termite and Pest Control. It's a family-owned and operated business with over 30 years of experience in termite and pest. You can reach Burn Termite and Pest Control at 321-297-7985. Once again, 321-297-7985. And let them know Bourbon and Bullshit sent you. Thanks, guys. See you next time.